Welcome back for another edition of Hawk Talk. I'm Tyler Doohen, and I'll be your host again this week. Joining me today is head men's basketball coach Justin Wetzel. Coach, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you. For those of you who haven't had an opportunity to talk to Coach or to get to know his story, Coach, why don't you just tell us a little bit about your path and your journey that led you to Dickinson State University?
Yeah, I've been very fortunate. I've coached a lot of levels, a lot of different places. So my road is a bit of a winding one, but that's no different than any other coach. That's just the profession, really. I most recently came from Montana State, which is a NC2A Division I school in the Big Sky Conference. Prior to that, I was at Montana State Billings. That confuses people once in a while, which is a NCAA Division II school. And prior to that, I was in a league called the Continental Basketball Association, kind of like a minor league, professional league. And prior to that, I was a high school coach. So, and I was a head and assistant at multiple levels as well along the way. So I've been really fortunate to have that experience and a lot of different ages and ranges of talent, if you will, and it's all helped lead me here and hopefully help me turn things around here as well.
Excellent. We kicked off our season on October 17th, first home game against Regina, Saskatchewan out of Canada.
Yep.
69-63 loss in that one. Kind of walk me through that game a little bit and tell me about that one.
For us, it was a typical college basketball game played on October 17th. There was some decent execution, some poor execution on our end on both ends of the floor. We did not execute our defensive game plan early on the way we wanted to defend certain on balls and things like that. But the one thing we did do, I feel, for the most part of the game at a consistent level, was we played hard. And that was evident in the stat line. We had 21 offensive rebounds to their 8. We were able to get up 24 more shots than them, I believe. And if you just tell me that stat line alone, I'm going to tell you, well, that team won by double figures. Well, we can't send a team to the line 46 times to your 20. I think was the real difference there. And we didn't shoot well. Typical of an early season home opener game. We were a little tight maybe on the offensive end, but the one thing we'll take away from that is we played with a tremendous effort. And we went into this, our staff, and visiting with our current players. We're going to err on the side of aggression, and that's what we did in this early game, and then we'll find out who we are and we'll make adjustments from there.
Okay, we pretty much answered the next question. Is some positive takeaways. A loss is never easy, but there's also some bright spots in the game that you can really harness and grab onto those, and really use those as a jumping board, for your next game.
Yeah, absolutely. The schedule doesn't get any easier. We go and face a couple NAI powers, come back home for a Division II school. So, we have no time to really sit around and pout or reflect too much. And I've done this long enough. It's one game. It's one win or one loss. I wouldn't treat it any different if we won either. It was they were a good team. Make no mistake about it. They go on to beat the team that was picked to win our league by 19 2 nights later. So it was a good test for us. They were big, they were physical. We can take a lot of good and bad. We watched the film with the guys and showed them some positives and negatives.
Good. Next game's on October 25th out in, is that Dillon, Montana?
Yep.
Western University out there?
It's University of Montana Western is what it is. And we play Rocky Mountain College first, and they're an NAIA power. They won a national championship 4 years ago now, maybe 5 years ago now. They're constantly in the NAIA Division I national tournament, and not to overlook them, but just finish the weekend. That goes the same as Western Montana. So it'll be good for us. I think this early season schedule is you're going to hear me refer to that probably every week. It is going to get us ready, and I would have it no other way. And our guys, it's a hungry group. It's a hungry group.
Sure. Speaking of hungry, talk to me a little bit about the leadership on the team. Who are some guys that really stand out to you who are kind of stepping into that role of a leader and going to be an example for this team this year?
Yeah, I think, leadership comes in a lot of forms, and one guy that comes to mind for us is Tevin Russell. He's a senior. He's been in the program, I think, 3 years now. He's not a vocal leader. He's the stereotypical lead by example. He's quote unquote one of our more talented players, but he's one of our hardest workers, and that's a luxury to have at any level. And he shows forms of leadership. We have some other seniors as well. Connor Donaldson's a new recruit for us. Jacob Gondrzak, point guard out of Salt Lake City, showed a lot of leadership, especially at that position. You have to have that. Another point guard for us, Billy Engel. We have a whole guys who are right at the surface of busting through in terms of leadership. But with that being said, to be candid, we need more of that. We need someone to step up and be a leader, and that's what this team is still searching for. To say we have a cut and dry leader that fills all the roles you need as a championship team, we don't have that yet. But I think best teams in the country go through that as well. You find your identity, especially in under a new head coach, a new regime, a new philosophy, a new culture. That is just the way it's going to be. I would not expect October 20th, 21 right now to have that.
Sure.
It's all part of the process.
Good. Anything else that you'd like to add today, Coach?
No, I just appreciate, we had a nice turnout in the home crowd. We sorry we couldn't come away with a win, but we really appreciate the support. Hopefully you give us another chance next Wednesday and throughout the year. So, thanks for having us.
Absolutely.